Mercury in ninth house. The planet Mercury or Mercury is a well-believed benefic presence who is a celestial expression of intellect leading towards success. Besides this, the placement of Mercury in ninth house would bestow a lot curiosity to the person to acquire all the possible knowledge present round, even if they would be needed to put much effort for the same. The natives of this placement having Mercury in ninth bhava I perceive to attain great heights in the path of education and learning, besides which they could be seen much involved in lurked arenas of study, and specially those requiring much endeavor to reach the depth of the subject. These natives having Mercury in ninth house could be found in the enclosure of philosophy, religion, law, publishing and education. The natives of this placement having Mercury in ninth house are endowed with special attributes of writing and teaching and so on. They could reach great heights of the same. They are very much inclined towards exploring new arenas, no matter whatever it would be, as that could even be a place to travel or a new subject to study. They just want to know more and more, as it's their insatiable hunger of knowledge. For the same reasons, they would be proficient or known to many languages and cultures. These people having Mercury in ninth house are born with great eloquence and effective presence to leave great influences behind. They are lively creatures who possess a vigorous personality and are proficient in bringing out solutions. These natives could be found around as sharing worthy ideas and philosophies with people, as they love to share and learn. Apart from this, the inimical relation between the Lord of ninth house, that is Jupiter, and Mercury will bring some adverse impacts here, as including restlessness to the person and some deformations in the life path. Besides this, the placement of Moon, Ketu and Jupiter in 1, 3, 6, 7, 9 th and 11th bhava would bring more malefic impacts from the Mercury in ninth house. The natives of this placement having Mercury in ninth house should stay away from green color in every possible way and should never take any tabis from any sadhu or fakir. They should have piercing in nose and should offer a earthen pot filled with mushrooms in a sacred or religious place. Mercury in Libra. Libra is a movable air sign having Venus as its lord. Both Venus and Mercury are friends towards each other. This is an auspicious placement for Mercury, as it affords the person with excellent communication skills and sophisticated disposition due to the influence of Venusian energy. Mercury is a neutral earthy planet, and when it is placed in Libra, it gives the native knowledge of various art forms. Such a person is bent towards creative and artistic pursuits. Mercury rules communication, and the influence of Venus here gives eloquence and refinement to speech. Such people are soft-spoken and polite, with the power to persuade others. These natives tend to spend lavishly. They are quite driven towards relationships and are fond of females. Their approach is quite balanced. Mercury in Libra gives an intellectual mind and a justice-loving behavior. Such people tend to be very diplomatic in their ways and know how to capitalize on opportunities. As a person, these natives tend to be gregarious, friendly, and broad-minded. However, at times, it becomes difficult for them to make a decision when given a choice. These natives have an eye for beauty and are strongly driven towards luxuries, architecture and stately houses. Fifth Lord in the ninth house. When fifth Lord sits in ninth house, if the planet is strong, then the native have spiritual knowledge, get merits from past life, good karma, evolved soul, publishes their philosophy, perceive love and romance on as a spiritual plane, children intelligent and blessed from higher power, find love and romance in long-distance traveling, interested in law, justice and higher learning. If the planet is not in good dignity, then the person may lack in previous birth merits, too much optimistic but lack in application, intellectual can be clouded, children travel away, romantic complications in long-distance journey. 11th Lord in the ninth house. When the 11th Lord is placed in the ninth house, the person fortunate. If the planet in good dignity, then the person inherits a large paternal fortune and will be very lucky in life. He will possess many houses, conveyances and every other kind of luxury. He will be religious-minded and disseminate religious literature. He will be charitable and set up charitable institutions. Friends are a great blessing throughout life, makes good money through publishing, law and traveling. If the planet is not in good dignity or weak, then income lost through excessive generous nature, spends too much on traveling, troubles with finance from authoritative. Mercury in 10th house. The planet Mercury or Mercury is a well-perceived benefic planet which is perceived to bestow most of the goodness in the native's life and especially affecting the career path of the person. Here, the arrival of Mercury in 10th house expresses surety of success in the professional life but through true efforts and hard work. The natives born with Mercury in 10th house would carry a very sincere and determined approach towards their professional path and would put the entire required endeavor to reach the highest mounts. Besides this, Mercury provides supreme attributes of eloquence and writing along with admirable management and creative skills. These natives won't depend on anyone else for their growth as they will believe only upon their own steps. The natives having Mercury in 10th house are perceived to be involved in professions comprising public relations in some way or those requiring higher communication skills. Besides this, they are free personas especially with their professional aspects for which they could be found changing their job profiles many a times, but they won't take hasty decisions or they could even be found being involved in more than one pursuit. They require all the required freedom in the air of workplace to be at their best, besides which they are believed to be at dominating positions in their professional arena as to rule over others, or they would have a very strong position even if they won't be ruling many. They carry great vigor at their workplace and are truly vivacious but serious with work as they will not let the surrounding go bore but will also accomplish their work well and precisely. The natives of this placement having Mercury in 10th house would be happy and satisfied with their professional aspects and are believed to lead a blissful life with good wealth and admirable success. They will receive good favors from government and authority people and would hold strong relations around which would be beneficial for them in the social as well as professional arena. The natives of this placement having Mercury in 10th bhava would attain great success in business if work in a sharmaki arena, but residing in such a house would bring adverse impacts to the person. These people having Mercury in 10th house should offer rice and milk in religious places for the betterment in life and should stay away from immoral drinking and non-vegetarian food as that would enhance the malefic effects. Mercury in Scorpio. An air of mystery surrounds the people born with Mercury in Scorpio. Scorpio is a fixed water sign, high in emotions, passion and ambition. The relationship between Mercury and Mars, the lord of Scorpio, is inimical, so placement in an enemy sign does not prove much rewarding for the native. Those born with Mercury in Scorpio are secretive in nature. They can do very well as an investigator or researcher. Theirs is a probing, inquisitive mind that questions everything around them. Mercury in Scorpio gives a disposition and speech that sounds harsh, candid and at times aggressive too. But Mercury also gives a logical mind, so while Moon in Scorpio gives unbridled passion, Mercury in Scorpio gives sanity and rationality, so the native's decisions are more driven by logic than emotions. At times though, these natives tend to take impulsive actions that they have to repent later. There is a strong desire to unmask the hidden truths and mysteries of life in these natives. Whatever they say or write has a deeper meaning to it and is generally quite insightful. They tend to use sharp language to articulate what they have in mind. When it comes to forming intellectual connection, they are quite inflexible. They think quite high of themselves. Fifth Lord in the 10th house. When fifth lord sits in 10th house, if the planet is strong, then the native good in career field, career involved in speculative business, investments, interested in sports, games, entertainment, spiritually inclined, interested in politics, gain from government, have good status, children and romantic partner help in career. If the planet is not in good dignity, then the person neglect children for career, may have scandal in career place. Not interested in fifth house related activities, like sports, entertainment, speculation and etc. 11th Lord in the 10th house. When the 11th Lord is placed in the 10th house, the person get profit from career. If the planet is in good dignity, then the person prospers very well in his business and makes good profits. His elder siblings help in their business, have ability to fulfill their dreams, hopes and wishes. think big and makes those dreams into reality. The person is connected with politics and is wealthy. If the planet is not in good dignity or weak, then the elder siblings and friends could interfere with career, may have problems with hearing problems, too much hope for lone dreams which cannot be fulfilled. Mercury in 11th house. The planet Mercury or Mercury is the positive presence of astrological arena which would bring pleasant impacts upon the native's life while here in the 11th house. The presence of Mercury would bring intellectual and friendly blend in the social and professional life of these natives. The people born with Mercury in 11th house would carry a very friendly approach towards the world, for which they would carry variant relations around, besides which they are endowed with variant ideas which they share around and communicate well as with people around. There are free-minded people who would develop social relations till the unconfined extent. They will possess a strong presence in the social arena, but these natives would get betrayed by some people as they would remain selfless and people would try to make benefits from the same. The natives of this placement of Mercury in 11th house carry an intellectual approach and are practically aware of the world, besides which they carry real aspirations as they would rarely possess any dreamy wishes. Besides this, they know well their path ahead. Their intelligent understanding and knowledge takes them towards good heights of social and professional arena, and they would attain good wealth which they would worth to have. These natives having Mercury in 11th house are blessed with good children who would do really good in studies and will get married in wealthy and noble families. The placement of planet Mercury in 11th house doesn't develops a very pleasant presence, as it is an enemy of Jupiter, for which this placement would bring some adverse impacts to the natives. Around the age of 34 years, the native would pursue unworthy and foolish pursuits for which there could be some losses in wealth and position, further leading towards the lack of peace and harmony around. During this period, you would not receive worthy results of your endeavor and your hard work would get ignored. The natives of this placement having Mercury in 11th bhava should wear copper coin and neck in a white thread or silver chain, and should avoid green color and green colored gem, that is emerald. These natives should not keep a widow's sister or father's sister within the house and should never accept bees from any sage or fake ear. Mercury in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a dual fire sign ruled by Jupiter, which is considered to be the most benefic of all planets in astrology. Despite an inimical relationship between Jupiter and Mercury, this placement turns out well for the native because both the planets are benefic in nature and bring positive results. People with Mercury in Sagittarius have a liberal approach in life. Mercury also employs them with the art of tact and diplomacy. They are quite driven towards spirituality and more so towards reading about spirituality. Native also has a strong penchant to visit religious places and books. They have a philosophical bent of mind, so enjoy such prudent discussions. Psychology and religion also appeal to them as subjects of study. Mercury gives the skill of eloquent communication to the native here. Such a person is a skillful speaker, mostly expert in writing. Foreign cultures and languages usually fascinate such people. Their imagination is quite fertile and interesting. These people become good storytellers and can adopt authorship as a profession too, because their ideas are most often compelling and alluring. Fifth Lord in the 11th house. When fifth lord sits in 11th house, if the planet is strong, then the native gain through social network and fence, have good past life merits, plenty of opportunity, good friend circle, have good income related with speculation, entertainment, spiritual practice, may also contribute in earning. If the planet is not in good dignity, then the person expends after romantics partner and children, not interested in love matters, older sibling can create problem in earning money. Friend also not helpful, and not good social circle. 11th Lord in the 11th house. When the 11th Lord is placed in the 11th Lord house, the person full of friends and opportunities. If the planet in good dignity, then the person have many friends and elder brothers who may help him throughout life. The person will have a happy life, the person get many opportunity and live comfortable life. If the planet is not in good dignity or weak, then the person lacks in opportunities, dependent on friends or elder sibling for support. Mercury in 12th house. The planet Mercury is one of the auspicious planetary placements in the horoscope chart as it brings most of the goodness in human life. The arrival of Mercury in 12th house would bring a very significant presence of the emotional side in the approach toward life, and there will be somewhat difficult balance in between the expenditure and income of these natives. The natives of this placement having Mercury in 12th house to carry a part of their intellect in their thoughts, but most of their decisions gets impacted from their emotional blend, for which their path could have some fluctuations at times. They are quite reserved with their inner beliefs and would rarely share their ideas as they are shy enough to express and converse in the public. Their inner conflict between emotions and logic could make things appear complex at times. Those born in this placement of Mercury in 12th house are curious to learn but would find their path quite harsh and would require to give a lot for growing ahead, which could further make them quite weak from mental composure and self-belief. The natives of this placement are advised to follow their mature and practical vision to stay safe and strong in this path, as their inner bewilderment could lead them towards wrong decisions and harmed by untrue people. They could be quite irritating at times and could behave stubborn at unreasonable aspects. The presence of Mercury in 12th house would cause much mental fluctuations to the person, and that could be till the extent of losing sleep and lack of peace in mind. These natives would be quite prone to headache and worries. The placement of Saturn here along with the Mercury in 12th house would improve the results of this house, besides which if Mercury and Sun would also get placed here, then the outcome would be truly positive of this combination. The daughters, sisters, father's sister and niece of the native would be adversely affected and would remain unhappy till the time they would live in the native's house. These natives having Mercury in 12th bhava should not get married in the 25th year of their birth, as that will harm the wife as well as father of the person, and they should stay away from speculation. The natives of this placement should wear a ring of stainless steel and should always put a Daiklivkasa overhead and should keep visiting the sacred places and stay involved in religious aspects. They should throw an empty pitcher in the river and should always consult other wiser and trusted people before approaching any new direction and taking any new prospect. Mercury in Capricorn. Capricorn is a movable earth sign, having Saturn as its lord. While Saturn and Mercury share a friendly relationship, this placement brings some obstacles due to Saturn's omnipresence in the background. People having Mercury in Capricorn are methodical and cautious in their ways. These natives think carefully before taking a step. Both Mercury and Capricorn have Earth as their element, so the native having Mercury in Capricorn is quite realistic and grounded, and doesn't build castles in the air. They have better than average business acumen, and their organization ability is also at par with excellence. This naturally gives them an edge in their career. The negative influence of this placement makes the person harsh, deceptive, clever, and reserved in nature. These natives do not like to communicate much and keep their emotions hidden. They often spend their life serving others than starting something of their own. Their attitude is quite stubborn and narrow-minded, which doesn't come off as likable to others. While they are quite intelligent, they do not use their aptitude constructively. They are also vulnerable to addictions and intoxication. Fifth Lord in the 12th house. When Fifth Lord sits in 12th house, if the planet is strong, then the native have strong desire for enlightenment, happiness and peace. Interested in divine love like Meera, the devotee of Lord Krishna, spiritual seeker, and may adopt children. If the planet is not in good dignity, then the person feels setbacks in romance, afraid of having children, trouble with children, may have miscarriage, suffer losses in relation with children, punished being dishonest in speculative business, loss through government, mental disturbance and slow development of children, and not interested in 5th house related things. 11th Lord in the 12th house. When the 11th Lord is placed in the 12th house, the person gets opportunity for enlightenment. If the planet in good dignity, then the person have cash flow through foreign countries, income through spiritual activities, may involve in charitable and humanitarian activities, have spiritual friends. If the planet is not in good dignity or weak, then the person will suffer losses in cash flow, though friends and elder siblings, elder brother will be ailing and much expenditure will be incurred on account of his illness, lacks vision, has nightmare, feeling of hopelessness.